Lady Nille, what's
Hi,
good?
darling. How are you?
I'm good. This is part 2, 21 questions.
It is.
I think our first part 1 is now like the most popular video that we have on the podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Like the Lady Nille effect is obviously there, and you've kind of blessed the podcast. So thank you.
Thank you, Thaddaeus, for having me.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm a bit ill, so if my voice goes a bit croaky, I'm sorry, guys.
Okay.
But I'm good. God is good.
You look good.
Thank you. I'm good. I can't complain too.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
It's been good.
All right. We had a bit of a controversial first edition of the 21 questions. Mm-hmm. I know there's some things you wanted to kind of respond to people, clarify.
Yes.
So yeah, let's take a moment to kind of
clarify. Okay.
Yeah, unpick.
So I saw on Instagram that I can't remember who it was, but someone commented saying that they didn't agree with the whole concept of me saying, like if someone's fat, they should pay for their gastric band, which I still stand by. But let me just clarify. I said if it was self-conflicted. If something is self-conflicted, it means that you've done it to yourself, not because of hormones or genetics or DNA or anything like that. Self-confliction is when you do it to yourself. I said, if someone has self-conflicted their illness, they should pay for it. Not if you happen to unfortunately have like a genetic disease or something. Yeah. That's not self-conflicted. That's something that you can't help. So to clarify that point, I still stand by what I say. But if a person self-conflicted their illness, I believe that they should pay for it.
So what did the person comment? What did they say?
I think they were like, I don't agree with what the girl said because some people have hormones issues and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, which is fair. I'm not disputing. I have hormones issues. I've got PCO. So that's polycystic ovary syndromes, which means that I have hormone issues. That means that my weight always goes up and down. So I understand that. I'm not disputing that. However, even though I have that, I know if I eat penguins every day, which I have been doing, I'm going to put on weight. So that's my own fault. That's self-conflicted because you already know your illness and you're out here still eating. So me, I want to get a BBL, which is Brazilian butt lift surgery or lipo, but I will pay for that myself. I will not go Turkey because I'm not trying to down the table, but I will happily pay for that myself. Okay. So hence why I'm saying I'm a person, if I speak something about other people, I'll speak it for myself. Like if I put on weight because of my own issue, then I will pay for it myself.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just to clarify that, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you wanted to go over?
The fact that I this is something, this person could be annoyed with me, but not once did I say rice and peas was better than jollof. I said jollof was better than rice and peas. Please watch it before getting on to me. So yeah, that was it really.
Cool. I don't think I have anything I want to clarify. But I will say that like doing a podcast is a bit tricky because you only have like one moment to say something and you want to say it in the most kind of articulate PC but non-PC way possible. And sometimes we can mess up, guys, you know what I'm saying? So if you see us and we're not totally politically correct, it is a podcast. We do have our own opinions and it's not meant to be a PC podcast. So
thank you.
Anyway, so what's been cracking recently? I know you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Dave Chappelle.
Yes, which I have watched.
Yes, we both watched, which is great.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a lot of controversy about some of the jokes that he made. Again, is it PC and all this other stuff? And it was about the Michael Jackson jokes that he made, which I thought was hilarious, and I agreed with him. Yeah. And I don't believe that they didn't. Everyone was like, "Oh, how can you say that they're so brave?" No, if it was that deep, he would have said it when he was alive.
But the thing is, though, so with that, he's kind of contradicting himself in the stand-up because he says that he doesn't believe. I guess you cannot believe like those particular victims, but then he was kind of saying that like he acknowledged that Michael Jackson probably did some of those things or was a paedophile. Like he did make jokes about him being a paedophile. So that says to me that whilst you may not, I guess, agree with those specific cases, you still kind of believe that he's a paedophile. So I was a bit so...
It's Dave Chappelle. The Dave Chappelle is very like... he's a bit out there.
Yeah.
I agreed. I mean, his entire
he could have just been cracking jokes.
Yeah, he's hilarious. And I like the fact that Netflix took the time out to do apart from, obviously it was a special, but they did like when people couldn't ask Dave Chappelle questions. Yeah, and do you not see? I think it's probably like the episode after. I don't know if it's actually as a collective, but they did like a little segment where we see the audience interacting with Dave Chappelle, and it was actually really good because I actually genuinely liked the questions that were asked, and it was hilarious responses.
The rap game.
Do we
want to talk about the rap game?
BBC3 rap game. I actually write some notes. Listen, I came prepared. I wrote my notes about this.
This is Krept and Konan's.
Yes.
What
and
do they
that
call
guy
it?
from
The Apprentice. This is what it seems like to me, just from watching it.
It's The Apprentice, but Apprentice for black people. Let's just say it like that.
For artists as well. Yeah. But it's like it's set up in a way that's very Apprentice.
It's like, it's not like a typical X Factor where they're singing every week and they're or rapping every week.
So that's interesting. I actually appreciate that they did that.
The task,
yeah. So that's kind of, I think they were bit smart with how they planned that.
Definitely. Yeah. I think what's it called? Obviously when you first heard it, you was like, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, because I thought is it a bit cheesy? Like, what do you think? Like, for me, it comes across as a bit cheesy.
I think it's not cheesy only because I've watched 2 episodes, and like you said, because it's like The Apprentice, it's not your typical Britain's Got Talent, X Factor construction. Yeah, it's very much to do with the culture, our culture, in terms of like our social class, where you come from. It's the tasks are very real, like as in actual things that happen on a daily basis with rap games. Like obviously, like in terms of like I think Krept and Konan must have been like, sometimes you don't want to rap with people, but because your label says you have to do it, you have to do it. So it's very realistic, and that's something that I can appreciate. That it's very realistic. It's very real. The people on there, so the up and coming artists, the
contestants.
Thank you. Some of them are amazing. Like some of them I'm like, I think you'll be pretty good.
Yeah, some of them.
And there's others that I'm just like, why are you even on here? Yeah. You don't care.
It's like they all could have been fire.
I'm going to shout. Okay, let's go through the list. This is my prediction.
Before you go into that, I just want to say, so the reason why I asked that question, is it cheesy, is because I guess we have to wait until the end of the show to see what happens. How it happens. But for me, like for example, the problem with The Voice, or the problem with the X Factor is what happens afterwards.
Okay, I'm going to correct you on that one.
Sure.
X Factor has actually birthed a lot of artists. You can't doubt that. One Direction, Little Mix, Leon Lewis.
Did they win?
They never won, but they came out.
One Direction didn't win.
No. Cool, they did not win, but they still came out of X Factor. Facts. Little Mix actually won, and they're still popping. No one can ever take that away from him.
But I'm saying, for example, in the pop world, that it can kind of work, right? In the pop world.
Yeah, I hear you. Not in the rap
when you're trying to market urban music.
I hear you.
In that kind of aspect. Like, for example, I remember Diddy used to have one of those type of shows. I'm not too sure what happened to that.
I don't know.
I'm sure they still exist, to be honest with you.
They do. There's one actually coming out on Netflix now as well. Similar to what Krept and Konan are doing as well. I'm
just interested to see what happens afterwards.
Same. Let's see if they actually make it.
Yeah, like, because let's see. Anyway, let's go into the list.
The contestants are Ransom, Lady Ice, Jay Lucia, Kiko, Smooth, Foss, and Chad. I think Lady Ice is dope. Like, she's
my man's name is Jay Lucia, fam. Imagine if I called myself T Trinidad or T Antigua. What kind of name is Jay Lucia, bro?
His name's Jay Lucia, and I think the first episode, this boy carried a whole flag. I said, "Are we in carnival? Is this not in a carnival? Who carries a flag?" And he even said on the thing, "This is kind of moist." I said, "Yes, it is, bro. You're a big boy, in your feet, and you're pulling that flag." And I see no son. What are you doing? I was like, "Nah, he's a waste man. He is a waste man." Like, do you know what I would give him? I actually wrote down, as I was watching it, I wrote down poet. He's a very good poet.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's a rapper. He's a good poet. Jay, I love Lady Ice. Lady Ice is sick.
She's the only one that's impressed me so far.
She is. Yes, I see you. Like,
she deserves to win. Like, from the outset, I can tell. Like, she deserves to win.
Hard.
She deserves to win.
She's
regardless
really
of what happens. Give her the
she's
prize.
She's amazing. Smooth is trash. You're trash.
Which one is that one?
The Somalian girl.
Oh, okay.
She is just, oh my gosh. I was just like,
do you know what? I think they did it for the story, because the backstory is like, she's You know what I'm saying? She's Muslim and she's...
I don't care.
She's kind of...
I don't care. You're trash. Get off. Just get off. You're trash. You're trash.
You gotta make it interesting, man. The backstory is there.
I don't care about your backstory. Okay, you can tell your backstory in your raps.
Okay, who else is there?
So Jay Lucia is a poet, like I said. Yeah. Ransom, I love him, but I can't understand the word you're saying, darling.
Which one is that one?
He's from Scotland, and his accent is just...
Oh, okay, cool.
Very, very, very...
Is he the black Scottish guy?
He's a black Scottish, and his accent is...
one of the weirdest things to me to this day,
when I saw it, I was like, there's black people in Scotland? Like, wow.
How'd you get there?
Literally, like, oh my gosh.
Like, he actually migrated from the UK to
Do you know what it is, yeah?
Shout out to Scotland, guys. Yeah, that's no hate.
Scotland's amazing, but I was
you guys know surprised. Your accent is a bit mad in it. So like.
I saw it and I was like, oh my days, like his accent's so strong that when he raps, I genuinely cannot understand what he's saying. And I'm like, as someone that's obviously we're from London, and we can even understand Birmingham. Birmingham accent's quite strong as well.
Oh yeah.
But his one is on a whole different level. Like I genuinely cannot understand a word he said, especially when he raps really fast. I can't understand you. Like, I'm not gonna joke. And then who else is there? Kiko is... I don't want to say this.
Okay, I've only watched the first bit of it, so you have to say who these people are.
So
because I've seen them.
Kiko is the one with the hair that's like this. Like, it doesn't look like he's got dreads, but I think he's from North London. So Kiko's from North London. He's decent.
Okay.
He's all right. Like, he's okay. I'll give him that. He stepped... Obviously, when you watch the second episode, he stepped up. He's okay. He's decent. Foss is amazing. Freedom
of speech, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I saw that one. Yeah,
he's really, really good.
Do you think he'll win, though?
No.
The image is not quite right.
The image isn't great. I mean, even... No.
Sorry, my guy. Get a haircut, bro. Yo.
His image needs to get patterns.
This is all pre-recorded, isn't it? So they've already won, right?
They already know who the winner is.
Okay, yeah.
Chad is... He's just so humble. I love him.
Chad.
He's
the white guy.
The white guy that has the bun up.
He's actually pretty dope.
He's good, but he's very, very nervous. Like, he's messed up several times.
Jeez.
I hope he just gets it together. Yeah, he's good, but I just think he just needs a bit more confidence. Okay. But I'm going to predict who's going to win. I think it's going to be between Lady Ice and Foss. Okay. That's going to win.
I can see that.
So that's my predictions.
There's that one guy that was from the ends and he bottled in that first performance. That's Kiko. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
but he improved in the second episode. Like, he did really well in the second episode. Yeah.
All right.
Second episode, if you haven't watched it, make sure you do, because I was just like, is it the clash when they're rap battling? That was sick. And when I mean the one between Lady Ice and Jay Lucia was hilarious. hilarious. Is
it kind of like Wilding Out? How they did?
Yeah, but it was much more intense. Like, there was, I think Krept and Konan was like, there's no rules, so you can literally cast anyone. You can say anyone.
Jeez, they're trying to take that limelight from Lord of the Mics, man.
Listen, I was just like, Jay Lucia must have brought up Lady Ice's dead auntie. I said, oh. I was just like...
That's a bit too much for TV, man.
No, but then she came back with bars.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it was like cool, whatever, innit? But
okay. All right.
But that was pretty good.
I'm going to catch you up on the next episode for that one.
Definitely. I'll be taking
part
notes.
3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else you wanted to run now?
No, is there anything else you want to talk about?
There was a Travis Scott Netflix show. Yes. I haven't seen that yet.
It's good. Yeah. The Travis Scott Netflix came out, I think it was last week. To me,
it apparently had 1 million viewers.
No, it's a good documentary. Don't get me wrong, but it's just all over the place. There's no structure. There's like I'm comparing it to the Beyonce's Netflix special. Yeah, which is very much, you saw the progression of the Coachella performance, and you saw the actual performance as well. So there's a lot of back and forth. You saw
that was a dope it was beautiful. Netflix show, by the way. As someone that's not even like a Beyonce fan, but like, I like Beyonce.
You saw the work,
and you really appreciate.
You really did
like Beyonce.
Yeah,
from that. Yeah.
So that was amazing. So I'm basically comparing it to that.
I expected it to be like that. So
pardon?
No, from what you told me, because you said it's kind of split up into different things.
It's just too much. It's
but I definitely expected it to be more like the Beyonce
That's what
stuff.
I thought it was going to be. So I was like, oh, let me see it and see how the progression is. But what I will say is Travis Scott is a very good artist. There's a clip in the documentary where he was basically telling his people that he works with that he was unhappy with how things were, and I appreciated him as an artist. I was like, raw, like he actually took the time out to be like,
what did he say? What was going wrong?
So I think because he has like roller coasters in his concert, and he was like, bro, like the roller coaster needs to be this, the lighting needs to be that. And I saw a glimpse, because when I see Beyonce's one, Beyonce's like detailed, and for me I was like, I didn't expect Travis Scott to be that detailed and be like that sort of directed, like I'm not happy with this, I don't feel. And I was like, wow, like shout out to you for being an actual artist.
Why
that
didn't
actually
you
cares.
think he was like that? Because for me, I kind of see him as someone that is quite meticulous, because I'll say this, because he's a producer first. Well, I'm not too sure what came first, but he's a producer. Like he makes music, and for anybody that produces and then raps, you're you're very meticulous. Exactly. You're on that kind of level. Like look at J. Cole, like all of these people. These people are like very meticulous with their work. So for me, that wouldn't surprise me too much. And even just his like, I don't know, his aesthetic seems quite thought out. Like for example, he never shows his face in pictures. Or he hardly shows his face in pictures. That's a lot of commitment. So like if you're committing to something like that, I could see him being quite of a diva, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but he was like really like, I was just I think I was surprised, because when I think of rappers, I don't think of like them caring about if the smoke is correct. Yeah. I just think of just the performance and the hype. I don't think of the smoke or the lighting. When I think of people like that, I think of like Missy Elliott. I know Missy Elliott will be more concerned about stuff, or like the Beyonces or the Mariah Carey, that I think of them being more concerned about how things look. When I think of young rappers like Travis Scott, I just think they're more about the good energy and just make sure everything's okay. Does that make sense?
I think he has been largely for a long time. Like his shows before, if you look at his live performances before, he's always had great energy. Like that's one of the reasons why he's like headliners at massive concerts and stuff like that, because he brings the energy for sure. And his music is great, of course, but in terms of as a performer, the energy is there. I think probably why he started to pay more attention to certain things is because, like, coming from like his last album, I think it was called Birds.
No, his last album is Astroworld.
No, the one before
the one before that, yeah.
Birds in a Trap Sing McKnight, I think it's called, which is apparently, well, he got that from a Quavo lyric, which is, I think it's just mad. Anyway, but I think he went from like, because apparently that didn't perform too well and people had expected it too. So he, for this next album with Astroworlds, it seemed like he was very like in his producer bag. He got the Drake feature, he got everything he needed, got the Weeknd features and stuff like that. Everything he needed, and like the production was everything that, like, it was a masterpiece, and it sold, and it was a really big good album. And to be honest with you, I think it's like a year old now, and you can listen to it now, and it's still got that quality. So props to him. He actually put a lot of work into it.
But in the documentary, you can see that though, which was really good. I just didn't like the fact that it was very like 2013, then 2017, then 2018, then 2012, and I was like, where are we going? Like, can we just do a structured sort of?
It was too much for you.
It was just too much. Like, I enjoyed watching it, but it was kind of like he showed obviously Stormzy and Kylie, then it was all of a sudden it's 2013 when he's doing his first album, and then it changed again, and I was just like, oh, it's Astroworld now. They did show like all the people that obviously was that hurt themselves during the concerts, because a lot of people did like loads of jumping off the stage, and it was just mad. I was like, I know I wouldn't be able to go to a Travis Scott concert because I'll end up fighting somebody because there was just too much going on. Everyone's like,
it's not for the faint-hearted.
It's not. Yeah, it really isn't. His concerts, like, you have to be ready to be in mosh pits and being thrown about, and people jumping from like, it's a lot. Like, that's like his fans that go to his concerts and stuff like that. The majority of
those people are like young, like just fresh out of college and stuff like that. They've got the energy, trust me.
To do all of this.
Because I remember seeing Schoolboy Q back in the days when I was just when I was fresh out of college and I was getting crazy. So you know what I'm saying?
Madness.
For sure.
Like,
anyway, cool. That was Travis Scott. I still need to see that. Should we go into one of the questions?
Yes, man. Let's do it.
All right. Cool.
Let's do it.
21 questions part 2. What have we got? What controversy have we got to spread today?
Do you know, I'm going to do a nice one to start off with.
Okay.
Is love enough in a relationship?
Oh, this is funny that I have my girlfriend producing the show as well, man.
Yes.
Is love enough in a relationship? No.
Like, why?
No, I think you need...
I'll get up the responses.
I think you need to be compatible.
Okay.
So I think your lifestyle needs to be compatible. Your visions, your goals, your ambitions need to be compatible. Mm-hmm. Your mentality needs to be compatible. I think love is quite easy to develop. But I think what kind of keeps the relationship together is how compatible you are.
I love that.
That's my answer to that question.
I agree with you. I do agree with
nice. You. We agree.
I think love... I think I would say love is enough to an extent, in the sense of like, as much, like you said, people have to be compatible with each other. But I feel like if all is gone wrong, you still have love. Yeah. So I would agree with you, but I think it's like sometimes love is enough. Because
but but I'm saying, for example, something could happen that could really test.
But if the love's there, then you're still gonna stay. So maybe love is enough.
But I've been in relationships where the love, I guess, was still there, but we just weren't compatible. Like, it just didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't really love, I guess, but that's how it felt at the time. And having conversations with the people afterwards, there was still like feelings there and all of that stuff. So that's my personal experience. Like, I get what you're saying, but for me, it's more like it can break down. Like, relationships can break down if you're, I don't know, very different, or there's something that another person does that you really don't like and can't get past, for example. Love is the thing that kind of reminds you of like why you should make that compromise. But for some people, they're not willing to make that compromise. Yeah. And that's usually due to compatibility. Like, you weren't really made for each other. That's or fair. Not made, but you weren't really, you know what I'm saying, paired. I don't know. I think I believe in love. So I believe in love too. I believe that love is majority of the time always enough. But I believe that love is something selfish. I don't think it's something. Oh, please preach. Yeah, I think something that, like, so for example, I think love is when you selfishly at the same, you kind of, you want to be around this person and you kind of respect this person as, like, selfishly, but like as much as that person, like it's mutual, if that makes sense. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, no, go ahead. What is your definition of love? Well, I definitely don't believe in stuff like love at first sight. Okay. No, I don't believe that. You need to, as a guy, I think we don't believe in that by default. I'll just say that. I think for women, it may be a bit different, but even for women, I can't speak on that. So, but for me, I think love is, like a commitment, a kind of dedication to one person, dedicating your time, attention to one person because you believe that they make you a better person. Like, for example, one of the reasons why I really love Mercy is because she makes me a better person. Like, and I'm confronted with these things at the stages and the places where I'm not a great person. Stop? This is just such a cute moment. Just saying. Just being honest. Cry. Just being honest. Just being honest. Like, at the stages where I know I'm not being great. I know I'm not being a nice person. She doesn't like crucify me for it. She's very much like, how can I help? How can I calm you down? How can we get through this? Like, always kind of reminding me of like, what is the right thing to do or the better thing to do, as opposed to like what's going on in my head. So for somebody like to have somebody like that is really useful. It's just really useful. Just for you to be a good person in life, I think is really useful. And for me, like more recently, I've been because I'm very kind of sure of myself and what I want to do in life and the career path that I'm on. For me, the last piece of the puzzle was having somebody to like hold you down, really. And I'm not out here, like, that's why I don't really care about like, my priority was finding like someone that can do that, right? And I can do that too as well. And not just that, not a kind of completely selfish exchange. I wanted to do that for the other person as well. But yeah, like I wasn't really I have no intention to be like, with loads of other people and stuff like that, because that's just stressful. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just stressful, and it's very distracting. You don't need to be distracted, I think, if you know what you want to do and where you want to go. Like, yeah. So that's me.
That's such a good question. What do I think about that?
Because, like, let me ask you this, because that's somebody that has had a child. Yeah. I'm sure that has kind of. I mean, what does that mean to you?
There's different types of love. The love that you have for your child is different to a love that you have for your partner. If that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm still moved by your speech.
Oh, okay.
So
should we come back to you?
Come back to me on that one.
All right. What's the next question? Let's go.
So the next question is, would you get your partner's name tattooed on you? This is something just light-hearted as well. We'll get into the nitty-gritty after.
My girlfriend is shaking her head.
She's really shaking. She's like,
I mean, I would if it's a nice tattoo, and if I have a lot of tattoos, then it's just like adding a tattoo to the to the power.
So you actually would? You get a name
if
tattooed
I was
on
one of them guys that had bare tattoos, but otherwise,
would you ever get a sleeve?
I would actually get a sleeve. Yeah.
Okay.
I do quite like sleeves, but I think I have to like. I'm getting a bit of muscle now, so I have to kind of keep going in it. Yeah, I have to keep banging at the gym and then make sure that is, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
How about you? Would you tattoo your...
Hell
okay.
No. No. I'll get my children tattooed on me, but now I would never, ever get a man's name tattooed on me for me to break up with him and feel like an idiot. No, thank you.
But what if you both get mutual tattoos?
No, thank you.
So, do you know anybody that has gotten a tattoo?
Yes, and they're fools. They are fools. You understand? They are fools.
So what happened for them to
get a tattoo and you break up 6 months later? Okay, you spent £60 on a tattoo to get break up. Okay, you could have put that money towards deposit for a house.
I mean,
okay, it's your business.
I mean, it would be good to ask somebody that actually has gotten a tattoo of their current partner or like gotten a tattoo of a lover on them.
I've seen loads of people that have done that and have regretted it. Don't do it.
But I want to understand the mindset that you were in to do that in the first place.
The only tattoo I would get, if I got married to somebody, I'll get the date of when we were married on myself, and they better get a mutual one too. But I would never, ever in my life, God forbid, God solemnly forbid, will get a man's name tattooed on my beautiful black skin. Are you mad?
Yeah, I think it's a bit weird for girls to get guys tattooed on them.
No, girls are the majority of people that get this done.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. I think it's quite romantic for a guy, actually. I do think that's quite cool. I think that's a good way to show commitment. I do think it's quite nice for, like, for example, if a guy, like, if you already had loads of tattoos, I think it's just a bit weird if you just went and got a tattoo if you don't have many tattoos. But if you already have loads of tattoos, it kind of tells me that you like to get tattoos. So what are you going to do when
you break up with her? Like, come on.
No, honestly, yeah, this is how I look at it. I know, sorry, baby, if you get a bit jealous, I'm really sorry. But, how I look at things is I like to end my relationships on a good note. I like to be, like, I guess, still friends with the people that I had been dating.
Yeah,
that's quite.
It's not important. It's not important, but the thing tattooed on them, though.
I know, but I mean, in terms of like, so I'm saying, for example, so that person could have got a name tattooed on. It's like a guy could have got a girl's name tattooed on their body or whatever, or the next. Let's just say, and then if they break up, that's like, why does the meaning of that tattoo diminish after they've broken up? Like, you've tattooed it for, that's why I said I want to understand the mindset of the people that did it, because I would imagine it's because you really that experience that you had was something that you wanted to remember, regardless of if
you break up or not.
Yes,
I hate you.
I believe that people that do get these tattoos, no, I don't believe, but I'd like to believe, that these people that get these tattoos actually know that there's a potential of them breaking up, but it's more so because they want to get a tattoo, because they really love and appreciate that person, that they'll, because what's different from, I don't know, like a picture of a diamond, like a diamond tattoo that people get on like their hand or whatever, to like somebody's name. Like, it's a tattoo. It's a tattoo.
First of all, getting a diamond, is getting a diamond. Getting a name tattooed when now you're broken up with them. Let's say if it's a bad breakup, there's a big difference. I'd rather see a diamond than a person that breaks my heart.
If you get somebody's name tattooed on you and you have a bad breakup, boy.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Like,
having
you
a diamond and having
a
name is completely two different things.
Yeah, okay. All right. I get you. But for me, I'm just saying it's a tattoo, right?
I hear you.
It's a tattoo.
I hear you. Should we do the next question?
Yeah.
This one's a bit deep, so I want you to think like your inner Thaddaeus, your inner self, and see how you feel. Do you fear what happens after death?
Do I fear what happens? A little bit.
Explain what
when I really think about it. I think you can get a bit scared about it, but I try not to think about it, and I try to live life in the moment, and I try to make sure that I have a good life whilst I'm here, which is why I do the things that I do, which is why I leave jobs if I don't like them, which is why I commit my life to doing what I want to do, stuff like that. Like, I try to live life the way I actually
want to.
Feel to.
Okay.
I may be wrong in some instances and regret decisions that I make. I'm human, right? But yeah, I do. Like, and it's obviously for that idea of you don't know what happens next, or I don't have a strong belief that I can commit to what happens next. I do believe I am spiritual, so I do believe there's a higher power, because not everything can be explained by science. So for me, that lends the next possible explanation that I have.
Is this God?
Yeah, higher power. I wouldn't say God, because God is
the same thing though. Higher power and God is the same thing.
I think the reason why I would distinguish higher power to God is because God is, you have an idea of what that is and what that looks like, and it tends to be a man, first of all, a white man with a long beard.
No. Let's back up right now.
Waiting at the gates for you.
Okay, first of all, let's back
man
up.
Like Jehovah, shout him.
Do you say man like Jehovah? God forgive him right now.
I'm sorry.
God forgive him, for he does not know what he's talking about. Just forgive him. It's okay. God loves you. It's all right.
Thank you.
I don't like the fact that you said that, only because I understand where you're coming from, but we also need to realize that the person that you're describing is a white Jesus that does not exist. And yeah, I said it's a white Jesus that don't exist in it. That's a white Jesus that think is God. Like,
okay,
no,
I don't want to get into religion debate right now, because I feel like that's about to happen.
No, it's not religious debate.
No, it's cool.
It's not religious, but I'm just saying it from like my perspective. You said, what's it called? You basically make God as this white person. I'm gonna.
You believe in Christianity? That's what it was.
I'm a Christian, innit? And I don't believe. And as much as I understand that people will say, obviously the Bible refers to God, like you said, as a father, whatever. I don't believe God has a gender per se. I think we call him father because it's like a representation of someone that's. When you think of a father, you think of a head of a house. You think a person that is a provider or protector. If that makes sense. I don't believe God has a gender. I believe God is both male and female.
Okay.
I don't believe that he has a beard. I think God is just God. Like, he's just no one can comprehend who he is or who she is or what it is, if that makes sense.
So why give it a name, God?
I think it's just God for the sake of so people understand what I'm talking about, if that makes sense.
I get you.
I mean, I'm going on my own spiritual journey, you can say. Sure. And I'm not trying to say God. I'm trying to say like the Hebrew translation of God, which is like Jehovah, El Shaddai, Adonai, other Elohim. So I'm trying to say that more, but because I'm so like, what's that word? You know when you're just like continuously, I wouldn't say brainwashed, but I've been taught to say God or programmed to say God. I'm like, it's very difficult. So when you talk about someone higher, I just automatically say, oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like kind of cut back on that and be like Elohim.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, me referencing higher power, I think it's more to do with how I think about what that is, as opposed to like what everyone else believes God is.
So, but do you think you're going to heaven? Do you believe there's a heaven?
Do I believe there's a heaven?
No, that is a good question.
These are some deep questions, man. Shit. Okay.
But I said it before. I said we're going to get deep. So.
All right. Do I believe there's a heaven? I'd like to believe there's a heaven. But because I like to believe that I'm a good person and I live like purely. Yeah.
I think everyone wants to go heaven though. So, but do you believe there's a hell?
See, that's where the scary part comes in, because.
But imagine if there is actually. I mean, obviously, I know what I believe, but I'm going to ask you. Let's say there is actually a heaven and a hell.
I will say this. So I will say that they could be just exaggerated concepts. So it could have come from a basic concept. So in terms of like when you die, are you dying in a good place or in a bad place?
Ooh,
you see what I'm saying?
That's kind of deep.
And then that lends to where your headspace is, like what happens, what your belief is, and so that bad space could be hell. And if you die in a good space, that space could be heaven. So I think it's more. I believe that well, I would want to die in a good space. I believe I am going to die in a good space, and I live my life believing and living that. So if that is heaven, cool, I'm fine with that. I don't live my life in a way that I believe that I would be dying in a bad space, i.e. going to hell. So I don't want to use those very like specific terms because it comes from a belief that isn't
what you technically believe in.
Yeah, it's just a bit questionable, isn't it? It's just a bit questionable.
I mean,
but yeah, so that's what
I mean, I'm scared. As much as I'm a Christian, I'm still scared. I don't know. I don't think no one wants to really, if hypothetically speaking, because I want to be PC.
Yeah.
Because I know not everyone believes in what I believe in. Like, I'm very much concerned about like if I do die, like where am I actually going? Like, as much as we believe in what I believe in, God, Elohim, Jesus, Yeshua. I'm gonna say all the Hebrew names. If I say Yeshua, that means Jesus in Hebrew, innit? If I believe in Yeshua, I believe in Elohim, innit, I should know that, okay, cool, I'm going to heaven, innit? But me being the person that I am, I'm very much like, what if what I'm believing in is not real? Like, what if Islam is correct? What if...
That's one of my biggest questions to religious people. I'm glad you said that, because that's one of my biggest questions to religious people. Like, have you even spent... Like, for you to commit to religion, have you even spent the time to research other religions?
I research other religions.
Then that's cool. But have you... But when I say research, I mean, like, not kind of observe. I mean, like, actually participate. So, like, actually... I don't know, for example, go to a mosque, see how they pray. Because, for example, I've been to, like... Mercy was performing somewhere recently. It's kind of like a... Like an Islamic kind of club, I guess.
Oh, really?
But yeah, she was like, they had like an open mic there, so that's how she heard about it. And then I went along one time, and they prayed there, and it was really interesting to see them pray. As somebody that's never seen that before. And even one of the people said that, like, when I said that, like, one of the people was like, yeah, that's like the images that they kind of protect, because it can be like radicalized.
Oh, I see.
Like, if you see them pray, it's very different to like Christian praying. Very different. It's a lot more, honestly, it's impressive. Like,
it's more structured though.
Honestly, yeah.
But I think Christians will say, people, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm only going to talk from my perspective. Like, I agree with what you're saying. Obviously, how Muslims pray and Christian pray are completely different things. But as talking to a lot of Muslim and Muslim friends that I have, their prayers are more structured. Our prayers is more wherever you're at with God, if that makes sense. That's what I can explain it as. So if I'm not, like, when I pray very much like, okay, God, like, today's been a good day. But I need help with this. I talk to God as if I'm talking to you. Whereas in Islam, it's more like, this is God. Like, there's a way of...
This is how you do it.
Does that make sense? So there's a big... I think that's the difference in the division between Muslims and Christians. Christians are more... I wouldn't say relaxed, but it's more wherever I'm at is how I'm going to talk to you.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Compared to... No matter where you're at, there's still a way that you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, you're still meant to pray how many times a day?
Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. I think that's like the only difference. And obviously other differences between Christians and Muslims.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, okay. I feel like we can talk about religion for a bit. Yeah, let's...
It's cool.
We're getting close to an hour, but I feel like we're going to run over a bit, so
it's
that's
fine.
cool.
That's not a problem. Yeah. I've got a really good question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so in your opinion, because I've actually had a discussion with other people, if someone supports Trump, are they automatically racist?
Are they automatically racist? Probably. That's my answer to that question.
Thank you, Thaddaeus.
Yeah, probably.
So you're an intelligent man.
Had to think about it. I mean, I like probably because, and the reason why I say that is because supporting is quite a commitment, right? So if you support somebody,
you agree with their concepts.
Yeah, and I wouldn't necessarily say that Donald Trump is racist in the way that his supporters use racism or kind of believe.
Okay, let's break that down for me.
So, like, his supporters, I'd say, are like the poor white people that
yes.
in these areas are ignorant. I'm not saying that Donald Trump isn't ignorant, but I'm saying he's a rich white man that cares about what he cares about. And it's very different to the motives and aims, particularly to do with race, than it is a poor white person that typically, when you think of a Trump support, that's what you think about. So that's kind of what I mean. I'm not sure if I need to break that down anymore. But
no, that's fine. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, so
I mean,
by saying that, I would say that Trump, like, if you support Trump, you're not supporting him because he's a good politician. Because if you were smart, you'd know he's not a good politician.
That is very true.
You're maybe supporting him because you liked him as a person beforehand.
That's also
so
true.
Maybe that you're not a racist. But I do think that, like, given the time that we're in right now, the fact that hate crimes have risen and stuff like that, since this whole Brexit era, this whole Trump era, a lot of their supporters, like people that march and stuff like that, they're the ones with Confederate flags and stuff like this. So those people are probably racist, yeah.
Would you be shocked that a lot of there's some Hispanic people that actually support Trump, even though Trump's...
Yeah, no, I've heard that, yeah.
I saw something on Jubilee. It's a YouTube channel that actually discusses, like, social issues, but they do it in, like, a really amazing forum. And when I saw some of the Trump supporters, I saw, like, Latinos. And I'm like, how can you be a Latino and be a supporter of Trump when Trump is trying to build a wall to get you out? They call you guys racist, not racist, rapist and all this stuff. How in your right mind supporting someone that is against your people? I will never understand. And then black people that like Trump. That's even more ludicrous to me than anything. I mean, me personally,
see, that's where, like, those other kind of bits that I was saying in terms of, like, his supporters base and, like, where they're at, like, they're not all poor white people. So they may have been people that are, like, have had ties to Trump before, have, like, idolized, like, a lot of the, like, for example, the YG song, like, Fuck Donald Trump, he even says in the song, like, he's idolized Donald Trump because of his entrepreneurism and stuff like that. So I'm sure people kind of identify with him a lot because of that. I'm sure a lot of people support him just because he's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Some people don't like their own kind. Some people don't care about it. Like, there isn't that importance, if that makes sense. So it's quite, like, I'm not surprised when I hear that. Like, and that's just because what surprises you in this day and age.
That is very, very true.
So, like,
a friend of mine said that a lot of Christians would support Donald Trump.
Oh,
because it's got a lot of Christian. In fact, a lot of Christians. I've seen it online support Donald Trump because he has a lot of more Christian morals. But me personally, how can you be a Christian and support someone like that? I don't know. So yeah, but me personally, if you support Donald Trump, you're automatically racist, in my opinion. Second thing, we need to be concerned. Why do we need to be concerned? The fact that Donald Trump supports Boris Johnson, you need to be concerned. Anyone that Donald Trump likes,
there's some warning signs there.
There's warning signs. And the fact that Britain has not double think, the fact that Trump likes Boris, maybe we should be concerned about this. I don't think this is not a lot of conversations in this, because
we're desensitized.
No, but we need to be concerned.
We're in the Brexit era. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but people are concerned. But then that concern lasts for a day.
It's really bad.
Like when they see the headline happen.
I know.
And then that's it, because it's just on to the next one. Politics has almost become a game now.
It really is. It's a joke. It's a sitcom.
It's a sitcom. Again, which is why I feel the way I feel about stuff like that, and I try not to bother myself about it, because it's just you end up kind of. It's kind of like when football supporters, like you, for example, like if you support Arsenal or something, Arsenal are not going to win. You continue to support. You continue to support them as a team and go through this disappointment. That's kind of how there's a correlation to how I see like football in that element, like where you kind of constantly support something that can get you so angry, happy as well, but can like really destroy your day and change your mood.
Anything lately?
I don't know.
Just because they're playing today.
I don't really watch football like that. That was just an example, because I know Arsenal always, you know what I'm saying? But comparing that to politics, that's kind of how I feel about politics. Like, why would I be so involved with something that doesn't
like you?
Yeah, but it's more so just like, what do I get from being concerned about it?
Okay.
Like, if there's a vote, for example,
are you gonna vote for the next votes that they're gonna do?
If people really feel strongly about it and there's like a clear idea of who you should vote for, and if it makes sense to me, then I'll do it. But I'm only ever voting apart from something I actually care about. For example, the Brexit thing vote. That's something I actually cared about. I doubt there's going to be much. Maybe if it's to do with Brexit, I might care about that. So it really does depend, is what I'm trying to say. But if it's to do with all of the usual bullshit, then I'm very much like, what's the consensus? Because I hear people when they say, it's a vote, you should vote. I don't mind voting. You can take the vote. So like the consensus can take the vote. You know what I'm saying? If my people, so like the people that are around me, I know I had said before in the previous, like you shouldn't be influenced by the people around you, but I'm only saying that just because in those instances, I want to protect the interests of the people that are around me. So for example, for the last thing, I voted for Labour just because people I fuck with vote for Labour, innit? So that's just what I feel when it comes to stuff like that.
You're actually hilarious.